إذا كنت من المتابعين الجدد اشترك الآن في القناة ليصلك الجديد بالضغط على الزر الأحمر أسفل القناة مع تفعيل الجرس، ولا تنسوا دعم المقطع بلايك. شكرا لكم جزيل الشكر.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most compassionate. So hello everyone and welcome to my channel, which is called Hassan Professor 04 or 04. So in my last videos I talked about things which has relation to tenses and vocabulary, and today I am going to talk about the simple past tense. In the last video I talked about the verb to be in this tense, which is simple past, but today I'm going to talk about general verbs. I mean other verbs, to be and other verbs. Okay, so when we are conjugating verbs in the simple past in the affirmative form, we have to remember that there are two types of verbs, two types of verbs, which are regular verbs and irregular verbs. I'm talking about the positive form. Regular verbs have some rules, or one rule, I don't know, but they have a rule at least. And irregular verbs have no rules. So that means that you have to memorize them and you have to learn them by your heart. And later I give you the list of the common irregular verbs in English. Okay, so let's talk about their regular verbs, regular, which have rule. Okay, so the simple past in regular verbs is formed by adding ed to the bare infinitive. What do I mean by the bare infinitive? Is that the verb without to. Infinitive is the verb with to, but the bare infinitive is the verb without to. Okay, so the rule here is very clear. Okay, the simple past in regular verbs is formed by adding ed. You have just to add ed to the bare infinitive of the verb in the affirmative form. Okay, I will provide you some examples here. Okay, so the infinitive to work, bare infinitive work, past simple worked, we added ed as you see here. Okay, another verb to ask, in the infinitive, bare infinitive ask, past simple asked, we add ed, but the pronunciation is depends on the stress or something. There are other rules, we will talk about them later or in another video, of course. Another video I will give you why we pronounce t instead of d, and so on. Okay, it doesn't matter. And this form is for all persons. What do I mean here is that worked in the past simple is for all persons. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they worked. It doesn't matter, and there is no difference or difficulties. Okay, it is very easy. You have just to add ed to the verb in the simple past for all the persons. Okay, I worked, you worked, he worked, she worked, it worked, we worked, they worked. Okay, this is one thing. Another thing is that for the verbs ending in e, add only d instead of ed. Okay, for example, I love my mother. In the simple past, we can say I loved a girl in 2017. For example, it's just an example and not a truth, and it may be a truth, I don't know. Okay, just okay. Another example, you like pictures. I liked the pizza. Okay, so these are just two examples. And this is number 2. Number 3, for verbs ending in y, it is just like the simple present and the rule of nouns that I have talked about it. Okay, for verbs ending in y, following a consonant, change the y into I before adding ed. Okay, for example, carry, carried. We have y here, and before the y there is an r. An r is a consonant, of course, so we have to drop the y and add I. Then we add ed of the rule. Okay, another example, try. To try, tried. We have y again, and before that y we have r. We have to omit the y and write I. Then we add ed of the rule. Very simple. But if y is followed, but if y is preceded by a vowel, it doesn't change. Okay, it's like I said, just like the simple present. For example, to obey. In the simple present, obeyed. We have y here, and before the y there is e. It is a vowel. We didn't omit the y as we did in the first example. We did not. Okay, we just let it and we add ed. Okay, so this is the rule of simple past positive form. Okay, for regular verbs. For irregular verbs, there is a big list of common irregular verbs that you have to learn them by heart. As I said before, you have to learn them, because if you didn't, you will have nothing. You will not learn nothing. Okay, as I said, it is just the positive form of the simple past. Now we are gonna move to the negative form of simple past. Okay, negative form is very easy. It is not like the positive form, because we don't need to memorize all those verbs. We have just to put the auxiliary did not after the subject. Okay, then the bare infinitive, as you can see here. Okay, negative subject plus did not, or short form didn't, plus bare infinitive. Remember, bare infinitive is the verb without to. Okay, example, I didn't go to school yesterday. Okay, I didn't go to school yesterday. Or for example, I didn't eat my dinner last night. I didn't eat my dinner last night. Okay, for negative form is very easy. Okay, let's move to the interrogative form of regular and irregular verbs. Okay, and interrogative form is formed with did plus subject plus bare infinitive of the verb plus question mark, of course. Example: did you go to school? Did your mom cook that amazing cake? Okay, there is just two examples, and this is very easy. Simple past, there is just some difficulties in the appositive form. The appositive form in irregular, especially irregular verbs. Regular, we have just to add ed, as I told you before. Okay, now let us move to the uses of the simple past tense. There are many uses of this tense, but we are going just to mention some of them, or the important ones in English. Okay, so the simple past tense is used to talk about action in the past. It is very clear. We don't talk about simple present or future something. We are talking in the past actions. First use: action finished in the past. Example: I visited London last week. I visited London last week. As you see here, to visit is the verb, and it is a regular verb. That's why we added ed. Okay, and it doesn't matter what is the subject. It doesn't matter. Even if it is he or she or it, we will say he visited. He or she visited London. Okay, it is not like the simple present. It is very easy. Another example: my friend went to Rabat a week ago. 2. A series of completed actions in the past. Example: first I got up, then I had my breakfast. 3. It is used also with the past progressive. The simple past interrupted an action which was in progress in the past. Okay, what do I mean here? It is used with the present continuous. Okay, example: they were playing cards when the phone rang. Okay, let's see this example very well. Okay, they were playing. Were playing here is this verb, which is play, is conjugated in the past continuous or past progressive. It is the same. And the phone rang is the simple past of the verb to ring. Okay, another example: while Hassan was reading outside, it started to rain. Okay, again we have to read here in the past continuous, and we have start in the simple past. And also we use it when we are talking about past habitual actions. For example, I studied at Abu Bakr Razi High School last year. Now I am a university student. Okay, I study at university. 5. Actions that were true in the past. Something was true in the past. Example: I lived in Muzar Murmusha, it is a city by the way, for 10 years. Now I live in Gigu. Gigu here is a city too. Okay, 6. Or we use it when the action clearly took place at a definite time, even though this time is not mentioned. Okay, example, the train was 10 minutes late. The train was 10 minutes late. Okay, so this is the end of this video. I hope you understand it and I hope you like it too. And from now on, inshallah bi'idhnillah, I'm going to explain all my lessons just in English. And this is just a small suggestion from one of my best friends on social media. Okay, here are some time indicators for simple past tense. She is my teacher. She is an English teacher too. Okay, thank you for your watching and see you next time, inshallah.